So the first thing on the show.
Okay, so MoviePass. Neither one of us use this, as far as I know. This is something that Ryan O'Leary, who's been on the show many times, uses or has used. I don't think
he's had it for a while.
He quit. He quit, and then now he went back to it because of this. And then Dan Herman, they both use it. But yeah, basically this week they announced that they were dropping their monthly rate from whatever it was. It was definitely way more than
30
this.
or something.
Yeah, something like that. The article says what it was at the beginning. It was like $45 at one point. I don't think that's where.
Yeah, it was at that one point.
Yeah, so it's high at $45 a month at a time. Basically, you could pay $9.95 a month and see as many movies as you want. As many movies as you want. Well, you could see at least one movie a day. That's what it was in a month. So essentially,
30 movies.
30 to 31 movies. Yeah. So that's crazy.
That's really crazy.
That is really crazy. And I think it's cool. On the surface, I think it's cool. However, I've always thought whenever I've had this service explained to me that it feels a little convoluted. I mean, you have to be, I think like if you, I read actually earlier, this article didn't explain it, but I read that if you use the app, if you do it all electronically, you have to be within a certain range of the theater before you can even buy the ticket. And I don't know. And then I think it gets weird with like, if you want to like reserve a seat and stuff. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole process of it. But it is a good deal.
It's a good deal. I kind of see this as like that's for someone myself who goes to the movies a lot or, after work when I don't want to drive in traffic.
Yeah.
I could see this being useful for me. Like, because if there's something I'm on, like there's, let's say 3 movies I'm on the fence about, now I can just go see them and not have to worry about it.
That's true.
But unlike movies where I know I want to go see and I know I'm going to want to buy advance tickets, you can't do that with this. And that's kind of the drawback, in my opinion, to why I don't buy this. Because lately I kind of feel like that's kind of how I'm going to the movies now. I'm only going if I know I want to see this right away. But I mean, last night I did go see last night I did go see a movie. Was it last night?
Yes.
It was last night. And I could have used it, So I don't know. It's also, I've been hearing it's glitchy, their website, and like their website has been down too because everyone's been trying to get this. So
I don't know. Like I said, there's no denying that it's a good deal, but I guess I don't feel, I'd feel like I'd have restrictions, you know what I mean? Because like you have to see if the theaters are participating. I don't like that, if I were to use the app instead of the little credit card thing that they send me, that I'd have to be within range of the theater. I don't like the whole
limitations.
I don't like the limitations. I don't like the whole thought of, selecting my seat might be a little weird because I can't necessarily do it so far in advance or whatever the rules are. With that said, speaking of theaters participating, AMC is now a little angry about this price drop, and they've been a partner with this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of side with AMC on this, if I'm going to be honest. Because it's hard for me not to see their point. Yes, movie prices are probably way too expensive, more expensive than they should be, at least compared to what they were. And I guess I'm saying that solely as somebody who just goes to the movies. I guess I can't speak from the business side of it. For all I know, maybe those prices are the way they are because it does have something to do with like the cost of what it takes to put out the movie. Maybe things have changed, what I mean? Who knows? But it's hard to argue with them where they're saying if anybody goes and sees more than one movie, essentially if you see more than one movie a month, to them they feel like they're losing money. And I kind of, you can't really disagree with them.
True.
Now the people...
But to be honest, I mean, they really make a lot of their money in concession stands.
Sure.
Because, look how overpriced the concession, like buying popcorn or soda or candy or anything.
But you can make the same argument that some people don't buy stuff at the concession stands because of the prices.
That's true.
So, you could...
That's true. Yeah, growing up, my parents would rarely ever buy anything from the concession stand. We would actually be the people who brought in our stuff because it was so expensive.
Of course.
And that's why now when I go to the movies, I love buying stuff from the concession stand because I didn't get to do it. Yeah. It's like, give me that fucking popcorn icy, and I'm upset.
So I don't know. Like I just sort of. I was kind of not hoping, because I'm glad you sort of seem like you agree with me on this, but in some
I can
ways,
see that. I can totally see that.
In some ways, I was kind of thinking maybe, we would debate this. I know if Ryan was here, he would probably have this whole thing because he supports it, but it's just like, I don't like the restriction of it. For someone like Ryan, it's great. Ryan sees so many movies. You see probably more movies than I do too, although lately I think you're developing my movie habits where it's just kind of like something, we go to the movies, you and I especially, because we tend to want to see the same things, especially as far as the bigger movies go. There's some artsy movies that you like to see that aren't necessarily on my radar. It doesn't mean I won't see them, but, sometimes you see stuff like what you saw yesterday, which I actually don't even think I'd heard of before.
You gotta go see that movie.
And I would. Off your recommendation, I would. But yeah, we're like, this is coming out on this day. We have to go see it no matter what, and that's when we go to see the movie. But for someone that sees a movie a lot, I could obviously, $9.95.
Fucking that's a steal.
You see more than one movie a month, and that pays it.
2 movies, and that's it.
It already pays for itself pretty much. But I've had months recently where I haven't been in the movies. Quite a few this year, actually. So I mean, I don't know if this would totally pay off for me, And then it just gets dicey because it's only for yourself. So I mean, like, people who have wives and girlfriends and children, like, they'd all have to have this too, basically. So, like, I don't know.
Unless they come up with the whole family.
Yeah, if they come up with something like that, and maybe they have that and I'm just not aware of it. But talking about this alone, $9.95, no doubt that it's a great deal. But, again, I could see where AMC's coming from with this. I think the person...
I can see it too.
The response from the company was like, oh, AMC is just... They were trying to say this is kind of like how Blockbuster reacted to Netflix, and I'm like, I mean, that's definitely okay. I mean, I see that. I definitely see that. Like, it's kind of hard to fight back from that, but it's hard not to. I guess the difference with that is we were kind of moving towards this whole digital thing. You know what I mean? This isn't really changing how we go to the movies. Oh. You're still actually going to the movies the same way. So it does honestly just feel like you're ripping business away from a movie theater. So, I mean, I don't know.
I'm also trying to see how, like, the studios and companies get their cut from all this.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's okay.
Cheap. Like,
yeah,
how?
This is one of those things where you look at it and you're just kind of like, okay, so what's the catch? Yeah. It feels like there's, you know what I mean?
I feel like there's
it feels too good to be true.
Well, according to what Ryan told me, he said that they are going to take, like, whatever movies you go see, like, they are taking your data.
Oh yeah, and that right then makes me not want to do it.
Yeah,
I don't want someone. They don't need to see my viewing habits and all the other stuff. So yeah, that is.
Netflix already knows my viewing habits.
Right. that is what this is about. But yeah, it's just, and the whole process for me is what keeps me out of it. Maybe it's okay, but like I said, I like I'm spoiled now. I like reserved seating. I like picking out my seat, and this. It's not that you can't do it, but you can't do it really that far in advance. Like, it doesn't allow you to do that. So I don't know.
Yeah, when The Last Jedi comes out, like,
yeah, and so
go to the theater,
right? And someone's gonna say like, oh well, I just won't use this for that movie, and I guess that's fine. I guess you're not losing money if you saw 3 other movies. Then this still pays for itself, but. It's interesting to say the least. I still think it's not for me, and yeah, I kind of side with AMC on this, and I am a supporter of AMC because I'm part of the Stubs program, and
you still get your Stubs points even when you
right.
use this.
I've heard that, and that's cool too. But yeah, I don't know.
It's like you're stealing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel right about it.
But yeah, I'm on the fence too. I want to still read more of the fine print before I kind of pull a trigger on this, or if I would pull a trigger on this.
I could tell you I don't think I would pull the trigger.
But for now, I think I kind of want to wait and see as far as what the results turn out to be.
For someone that doesn't, for people that don't care so much about reserved seating or when they see stuff and they see enough movies to where this makes sense, then sure, go for it. But right now it's not for me. And then, like I said, it might not be the popular opinion, but I'm kind of siding with the big corporation on this a little bit. It's hard not to. It's hard not to not see their side. So that's all I have to say.
It's kind of dirty when you're on the side of the corporation.
I mean, but I can't really argue with them.
No, that's true. Yeah.
it's kind of the same deal. Like not to bring up with the whole file sharing thing back in the Napster and all that stuff. If you really break it down, it's kind of hard not to argue with that. You know what I mean? It's like, I get that what it was good for, and I understand that, like,
definitely just changed the way we
there's the whole theory, or not theory, but I mean, I guess, supposedly, like, they say bands don't really make that much money off album sales or whatever.
Not
but still,
digital,
but still, just in general, it's just like, yeah, it's hard to argue with, like, well, wait, instead of going out and physically buying this, you're just getting it for free off the It's always hard. Like, I have a hard time not seeing the other side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, enough of that.